Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about my NGS headline predictions because the NGS headline is coming in on December 26th, which is in a couple of days. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to get out of the way is where on earth can you actually watch the NGS headline, and it is of course on YouTube. I will leave the link in the description below. However, as usual, the main thing that we're going to be looking at is going to be the description over here. Hiro Arai, the official navigator of NGS, will be updating players around the world about current operations, future updates, interesting campaigns, and other related topics. In this update, we'll be sharing information about the version 2 update scheduled for release on January 2024, along with some videos. Plus, get some answers to your comments and questions in the Operation Report segment, so nothing new over here. However, this is where the juicy part is. Furthermore, we will be sharing the roadmap for the first half of 2024 during this update. We've also prepared some exclusive sneak peek footage of things currently in development. Now, if you did pay attention to the last NGS headline, which was last month, Hiro Arai actually did specify that they will be showcasing the new regions that they've been working on, or at least showing us a little bit about it, or at least the process of it. So I am pretty excited for that because, we've been on Planet Alpha for 2.5 years. It's about time that we move away from Planet Alpha and we see something new. Now, of course, when they just say new regions, it doesn't necessarily mean that we will be leaving Alpha. It could be a new underwater map. It could be like a Laciel exploration type of field thing again. It does not guarantee that we are absolutely going to space and getting a new region. However, with the direction of Chapter 6, it strongly implies that we are probably going to space because, spoiler alert over here, when the Starless attack us, and then Zavetto just blasted off into space, it kind of hinted like we're probably gonna follow Zavetto and go up there, right? And we're probably gonna find some other ARX people or survivors of some sort. Since they made it such a big deal to specify that we were the Resurgence ARX, and so I'm just fully expecting that when we go to another planet or when we go to whatever the new region is that they've been working on, I'm assuming there's going to be new NPCs and new story-driven people, and there's probably going to be a different faction of some sort over there. But again, these are just all of my speculation, but I do strongly believe that we will leave Alpha eventually, or we'll move Alpha to somewhere else, since Alpha technically is like a giant spaceship, sort of, right? And so that is my predictions. But as for gear-wise, I do think we will get a craftable 10-star weapon. Now, is the new craftable 10-star weapon going to be better than the Flugelguard weapons? I'm not entirely sure. I personally think the Flugelguard weapons are still going to be meta no matter what, simply because of its weapon potential over here, where it gives all your allies all of these buffs. Because keep in mind, you can fast switch these weapons. So let's say that you have your Photon Blast. You can switch to your Flugelguard weapon, Photon Blast, and then switch to a stronger weapon or switch to another weapon, and everyone will keep the faithful unit buff, including yourself. So no matter what they do, or no matter what new weapons they introduce, I believe Flugelguard will always have a place in your arsenal, simply because you'll be using it as your photon blasting weapon. And even better, if you can get a fix on it, like the one that increases your photon blast damage, like, get that, throw that onto your Flugelguard weapons when they become a lot more common. Eventually when we get like 11-star weapons, that the Flugelguard weapons are going to be a lot more common and a lot more accessible to obtain. And then you'll be able to get a Fixa 5 maybe, and throw that onto this weapon. And basically use your Flugelguard weapon as your photon blasting weapon so that everyone gets all of these support buffs. So regardless of what they do with the NGS headline, whether they release new armors, new weapons, new whatever, personally, I'm not too bothered by it because I know for a fact that the Flugelguard weapons will have longevity regardless of how much better the new 10-star craftable is going to be, or whatever future weapons that they decide to release, simply because of the weapon potential itself. Now, something I've been wondering for a very, very long time has been the armors. I'm really surprised that we have not seen the Octo Armor purples, or whatever they're going to call it, Eclair armors, Eclair suit armors, whatever. I'm just very surprised that we haven't gotten the purple variant of the Octo Armor yet. So maybe in January we finally get it. And another thing that you may have noticed is, as you can see on the roadmap, it says over here on December, they did say that we were supposed to get a new Duel quest. However, they didn't mention about this at all in the NGS headline last month. So I wouldn't be surprised if they push back that Duel quest to January, February, or even March. They didn't really announce anything officially, but what I heard was the devs realized that Duel Quest was not exactly what they wanted it to be. It was kind of dividing the community, especially on the JP side apparently, and it was causing a lot of issues. Even the release of the Lux Hell finales, apparently there was some drama on the JP side as well. So personally, I don't know much about this as I don't really look into all this drama stuff. But apparently that's one of the reasons why they decided to push back the Duel Quest. And honestly, I feel like they're going to be dropping the Duel Quest relatively soon. It just doesn't seem to be the type of content that people like to do or people want to do. And, you know, it's kind of dividing the community, as the developers supposedly are saying. And because of that, I do believe that they will eventually just drop Duel Quest altogether, or just change the format and make it so that, you know, your regular augments just work there and you don't need some crazy Defi capsules or whatever. And yeah, so that is what I've heard. But of course, I don't have anything to confirm any of this. But nevertheless, you know, that's the reason why Duel Quest was delayed, and that why we don't have Duel Quest in December. The devs were like, yeah, we're just gonna move this somewhere else. Yeah, yeet. And there goes the Duel Quest. But as for actual content that I'm excited to see in the month of January is going to be the 7 Deadly Sins that has been confirmed. So that is going to be the collaboration that will be released in January. So that's relatively soon. I'm pretty excited for that. Of course, I'm excited to see the new roadmap because, you know, I am curious on how long it'll take until we get the level 100 level cap increase. Well, you know, eventually we'll get there. We're currently 80. I'm sure we'll get them incrementally. So like 80 to 85 to 90 to 95 and then 100, probably by increments of 5. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sega surprised us and just boosted up to 10 immediately. So like from level 80 to 90 and then 90 to 95 and then 100. They might surprise us with something like that. Of course, I'm super excited to see the new region. That's something that I really want to see, or whatever they're being working on, because they did talk about that several months back already. They're like, yeah, we're working on a new region. It's going to be totally different from Planet Alpha. And so people are pretty excited about that. And hopefully it lives up to our expectations. And hopefully it also changes or adds a little bit more endgame loop, because at the moment the endgame loop is pretty grindy and kind of monotonous. Personally, I really enjoy the vet grind because essentially it's giving you all the materials needed for your endgame upgrades. So that is really nice. However, I'm sure that they will introduce new weapons and hopefully new armors. I've been saying like new armors for like the past 2 NGS headline predictions, and they have not come to fruition. So hopefully this is the one. And then on top of that, of course, we have capsules. You know, we did get the Lux Hell finale, as well as a couple of the stat 4s for some reason, like Spirit 4, Stamina 4, and Guard 4. So maybe we'll get more craftable capsules with that, with the introduction of stat 5s as well as Mastery 5. I find it a little bit weird that Mastery 5 isn't out yet. With the whole King Captain thing, I was very confident that Mastery 5 was going to drop from them, but apparently not. So maybe in the month of January, and then of course, you know, new weapons. I'm fairly certain we're gonna get new weapons. I'm pretty confident it's gonna be some sort of 10-star weapon, probably a lot easier to obtain, some sort of craftable similar to like, you know, your Kaiser or your Veshmel weapon, or your Melik weapon even, or you just farm a specific game mode to get a bunch of currency and you exchange it for that weapon. Pretty confident that's gonna happen. But is it gonna be better than the Flugelguard weapon? I don't think so. I think it's gonna be a little bit worse than the Flugelguard weapon. So if you do have a Flugelguard, personally, I think you're gonna be fine for like the next 3 or 4 months. But if you don't have a Flugelguard weapon and you're using like a Melik weapon right now, you know, you might not want to hyper invest into your Melik yet and just, you know, do the bare minimum. Wait for the NGS headline that literally comes out in like 3 days. See if there's any new weapons. If there's no new weapons, then you can upgrade your Melik weapons and invest into it and you'll be fine. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think will be shown on the NGS headline? I'm more than happy to see your predictions as well.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.